strong in that game. That 30-11 game, they lost the next 4 points due to a couple double faults. But like you said, if he shakes that off, I think he's gonna be okay. And
still early.
Break for Randy though. I mean, break's a break, and I'd take a break in the first game if I could. So hopefully, you know, like they say, you know, it's hard to consolidate that break. You know, it's always a big one in tennis. So Randy's hoping that since he broke, he can consolidate that and hold serve here.
What did the great Billie Jean King say? We'll catch up later with that about breaking serve.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that one. Now, Randy just hasn't gotten a lot. He's only got one first serve, I think, so far. So for him, I'd say right to that. You know, get that first serve in. Must have been a let right there. Yeah, you know, a lot of times when I work with my junior players, you know, slow your first serve down, because that returner, when you're serving your first serve, the mindset of the returner, especially in a match like this, is probably going to be just get the serve back, get it back in play, start the point. But as soon as you miss your first serve, the returner goes from defense to offense. Now they're going to start attacking the serve a little bit more. So even if you slow it down a little bit to 80%, A, you're going to make more balls or more serves on the court. B, you're going to keep your opponent mentally more on the defensive. And if you do that enough times in a row, that 80% is going to become 90% or 95%. It's going to build your confidence back up.
A lot more unforced errors than I thought there would be.
Yeah, I think Ben too. Right now, you know, you get broken right there. Your first mindset is, I want to get this break back. And if you look at that point right there, I think he went for something a little bit too early. That wasn't the right ball to go down the line. And right there, it was too low, but he just wants to get that break back. Yeah, I have to look.
Okay, so Ben called that one.
I did call that one out. It was a close call. It's tough to see where these monitors upstairs on the second floor, but it's a great view. But we have to view this on the monitor, and it's tough to see sometimes. But thankfully, we have some great scorekeepers here that are going to keep us informed of what's going on. So
Ben making some unforced errors, as Tom Bellickson would say, a rose, return of serve error. And don't give them roses.
That's a rose, yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, well, yeah, he's feeling a little bit frustrated right now. He knows he's not playing right now, like he knows how to play. Now, as a coach, you've coached, I've coached, you know, what do you say to your players when they're not grooving right now? And, you know, because now he's worried about, he's going to be down 3-0, but 3-0 sounds like such a big gap, but really in tennis it's not a big gap. It's one break of serve, if that's the case.
Wilson leads by 3-0 first set.
Right, so what would you say to Ben right now on the changeover, if you could go on that bench and talk?
I think control the controllables. You got to keep more balls on the court. I mean, it's simple things, but you got to grind and get in this match a little bit, and you know, 1 point at a time. Watch your body language. Ben's getting, you know, showing certain things that I think are that Randy is picking up on, you know, and so I think Ben needs to be careful about that.
Yeah, and even for Randy as well, when you're coaching Randy, the mindset right now, and what I've always told my players is when you're sitting here on the bench, this is one of the most important minutes and a half of the match, just because, number one, right now you can say, okay, what's my strategy? Am I doing what I want to do? If yes, I'm going to keep doing that. If no, what am I going to do to get that back? But it's a good time to reflect, and you're really chunking the match up into 2-game segments if you think about those things on the changeover. So talking to Randy here, you know, he's looking to be aggressive. I would tell him, hey, you got to get your first serve in a little bit more. You haven't made enough first serves, even though you have 3-0. And 3-0 is not a big lead, so don't feel like, oh man, I'm 3-0, that's a great thing. You got to just keep plugging away and just keep pushing. Don't give in, because a little bit of momentum change can make a big change in the match.
All right, Ben, he needs the hold here. No question here.
same hot streak in the first game, and then dropped the next 4. So let's hope he can pull that off and win the next 2. Get his confidence back a little bit. Great extension on that first serve. First serving, that's huge.
Nice shot.
Very nice shot. I was a little surprised that Randy didn't follow that one in, since I've been kind of saying he's doing such a good job at that. If he would have come in behind that ball, he may have had a better chance of picking that up. All right, so let's take a look at that replay right here. All right, it's a deep ball up the middle, and on the defensive here, he gets pulled wide. You can see, and Randy was even positioned well. He positioned himself cross court from that shot, but still, phenomenal shot by Ben. All right, Ben, okay, that's more like it. Okay, 4 straight points. Boom, his confidence is back. That big forehand, I'm sure, built his confidence up a little bit. And so he's back in this. And remember, 3-1 is not a big difference. You know, Randy's halfway to winning the set. You think, well, Ben's got 5 more games, but it's not that way in tennis. It's only been 2 serving. So good job for Ben. And hopefully you get a few more of these returns back. For Randy, hopefully you get a few more first serves in play. Big for him.
I am impressed with both players' speed and footwork. Yeah,
Yeah,
real
they
solid
did
on,
really well.
on both ends.
Yeah, positioning themselves well after the shot, recovering well. Something I always look for in a coach, as a coach. Just to make sure after you hit the ball, you position yourself in the right spot based upon where you hit it. They both seem to know what they're doing.
Nice kicker.
All right, and Ben's just got to be able to handle that shot right there. I mean, he wasn't that out of position. I think he got caught. He thought it was going to be a hard ball to get to. It was
He
easier than
hit
he
the
thought.
approach a little short, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised that his shot evolved too.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, I guess that was an easy one. And sometimes that can throw you off. All right, we get a second serve for Randy. Nice. And that's a key one. I mean, when you go up the line in tennis, you're vulnerable to that short angle, and that's exactly what Randy did there. All right, he took that backhand up the line, angle it off, and when you hit cross court, you make your opponents run more. When you hit down the line, you make them run less, and if they hit cross court, you're going to run more. So, you use it for sure. And an easy hole, but the one thing in that game was he got more first serve. He got more first serves in, and that's huge for Randy right now, is to get that first serve in.
Chris, I know you haven't been maybe seen it live, but Randy's serve is pretty good. He's probably, I would say, 5'9" at tops, and he serves pretty hard. When I asked him yesterday about the match, he commented, "It's about my serve and about my forehand."
All right, so we'll be right back to the 2019 Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships in just a few moments. How long do I have? How long the break is this? All right, and we're back to the 2019 Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships. We've got Ben Shelton, the lefty, serving right now, playing against Randy Wilson, the 8th seed right now, in the finals of the boys 18s. And I was gonna tell you the score, but it's not up on the screen right now.
4-1.
It's 4-1 in favor of Mr. Wilson, or 1-4 as we call that. And so far, nothing, there we go. Nothing out of the ordinary for this match. I think both these guys started off a little bit nervous, and hopefully we're gonna see them break out of that and get the game plans rolling. And I think for Ben right there, smart move, took the short ball, but gotta make that approach shot. And just an unfortunate left court there to make the ball go long.
Right here.
Right, big game for him right here. I mean, they say in tennis the 4th point in the 7th game, but I would say the 6th game is pretty important right now for Ben. I don't think he wants to worry about the 7th game. He's got to take the 6th game and get back into this match and hopefully break through. There we go. Well, definitely from the serving side, you can see he's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. And before the break, you were saying, you were talking about Randy's serve a little bit. What were you saying about Randy's serve?
Yeah, I'm impressed by his height. Hold on one second.
All right, second serve for Ben. 2 game points here. All right, Ben holds pretty clean. All right, we got 4-2.
All right.
And Randy is serving. So you were saying about Randy's serve?
Randy has some firepower behind that serve. I would say Randy's about 5'9". Nice motion. He gets some meat on that ball. So I was impressed with that. Ben, obviously is taller. You would think a better serve, but Randy's serve is solid. And I did speak with him yesterday. He said it's about my serve and about my forehand.
That was
Serve
Randy.
plus
Yeah,
1, he
okay,
said.
Well, hopefully he'll do what he did the last game and get that first serve in a few more times, because when he gets it in, I don't know if I've seen him lose a point when he's got his first serve in yet. He hasn't got it in that much, maybe 4 times, 5 times, but when he gets that first serve in, like you said, that's key, and that's his goal.
And Ben needs to me, he's missing too many returns.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, key part of the match right away.
As you were saying.
Yeah.
As you were saying. I noticed too, as you watch Ben hit that return, he took that split step backwards.
Correct.
Took that split, so he's hitting way behind the court, which is really giving Randy a little edge, but a little unforced error, looks like, by, or did they give him that? Yeah, unforced error by Randy there. It looks like a lot of court when you're going down the line like that, but really, you gotta get it there pretty quick. Let's take a look at where Ben's returning. Right there, and now you watch his split step here, he's backwards, then he's backing up a little bit. He does recover well and gets back up there though. All right.
Okay.
And usually when you see that, like when he's backing up like that, it's usually because of a kick or the ball moves. A lot of times when you back up like that, the ball kind of does this little dance and then kind of settles down a little bit. I mean, I remember watching Team in Madrid standing all the way back at the back wall. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, and he just picked up the right time right there, in my opinion, to go up the line. That's not the right time. He's too far behind the baseline. He just tried to change direction, and 80% of those points are won when you change direction of the tennis ball, or lost, I should say.
All right. 5-2.
5-2, that's
Yeah.
first serve in, that was good. Much higher percentage on the first serves. But like you said, some of those returns could be back in play, and I think if Ben can clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, it's only one break of serve so far, right?
That is true. 5-2 is not as bad as it seems.
Right, so if he can clean that part of his
Yeah.
game up a little bit,
Yeah.
then he's right back into
He's
this.
giving away, you know, 1 or 2 every game. It's you know, that is an issue.
Right, here's an interesting stat too, and you think 1 or 2 every game's not a big deal, but what's the score? If you win 1 out of every 3 points in a tennis match, what's the score at the end of the match? 6-0, 6-0.
That's-
It's 0-0.
Yeah.
So it sounds like if I win 1 out of every 3, but really, you gotta win more than 1 out of every 3. That's 0-0, no matter how you try to make that work. So right now, sticking to his game plan.
What about the heat or the humidity? I did see this morning at the start of the match, 79 degrees, 81% humidity. Nothing new for the Floridians.
No, not at all. Not at all. And this week has actually been one of the more humid weeks, you know, of the year
Yeah.
so far. You know, and 2 weeks ago, we were complaining about how dry it was and we needed rain. I'm sure that they were wishing that we still had that drier week right now. And it was a little bit cooler too. All right, second serve for Ben. Well, you see Ben trying to hit those balls a little bit maybe higher over the
Yeah,
he's still, I think he's just still trying to figure out what to do. I don't think he's really found his groove
Yeah.
yet. And it's just, that's frustrating too. After 7 games, you think he might do that. So it could be because he hasn't played in a while, or he doesn't know
Yeah,
his game, or
and-
just he's nervous.
Randy's ball is heavy. I can see that. Yeah.
And you can see the frustration setting a little bit because he knows what he did to get here. I mean, he didn't do this to get here, and so he just has to get that back. But that's what you got to teach these junior players is it's never over. I mean, did you not watch the Anisimova matches last week where she was down 5-0 in the first set and won 7-6, and then she was up 3-0 in the second and lost 6-3. So it can always be turned around. Great first serve right there. A, he got it in, and B, he got it into his backhand a little bit in the center of the court, cutting off those angles, but he needs to do more of that.
What?
15-40.
Oh my goodness.
Now, did Randy call that out?
It was out. Yeah, I could tell by Ben's reaction.
Body language or,
Give.
All right, well, we got double set point right here for Randy Wilson, the first set of the 18 singles final. And he's feeling it. He's feeling the set right
Yeah.
there. He might be.
Little rare return miss from Randy.
Yeah, it's tough to see though, like from here, it's easier to see when you're on court, but it's tough to see how that ball off the serve is moving. You know, was there a lot of movement on that really forced him to make that error? Was he a little bit nervous? But it's a little difficult to see, but you know, he's thinking about it.
Go.
Good job in the first serve. That's what's gotta happen right there.
All right.
Ben's gotta get that in. He
Ben-
brought it back. Good job. He just saved 2 set points.
Dug his way back here.
Still 5-2. It's only 1 break of serve.
Still have single.
So this is far from over, especially if you can pull off these extra points.
Advantage Wilson.
Yeah, but that's been his little, his hurdle in this first set, is just ending the points a little bit early.
All right. Again, a set point for Randy.
All right, they're both kind of feeling it here a little bit. think we have to make sure that we regroup, especially for Mr. Shelton. And he thinks about, okay, what things have to happen for me to pull the second set off. And remember, it wasn't a big difference. I mean, 6-2, well, it was 2 breaks, I guess. It was 2 breaks there.
Yeah.
But before we start the second set, can you tell me a little bit of the history, of the tournament, what it's all about? Why is it named after Bobby Curtis? I mean, who's Bobby Curtis?
Bobby Curtis is the father of junior tennis in Florida, responsible for just so many of the great things that happen in Florida.
Well, I think we're going to toss to a quick break. They want to go to a quick break. We have a couple things to show you here. So we'll be right back, and we'll get right back into that conversation. So we'll see you in a few back at the 2019 Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships.
The USTA Florida Section Foundation's mission is to change lives through tennis. So the biggest way that we can do that is by fundraising on our own and then having the ability to give out grants that offers other partnerships the opportunity to keep thriving. So everything from the equipment grant, the program support grant, and the facilities grant allows people from all ages, all abilities, and every different form of tennis to be able to come together, have a little bit of extra cash that they need to keep their program going.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
and close shaves.
of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget. But watch me smile
Say good game.
and put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
Greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Back to the USTA National Campus in the 2019 Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships. We're just starting off the second set here with Randy Wilson serving at 15-love. He took the first set at 6-2. And what's your take on that first set, Andy?
I just think that Ben has to regroup. He's quite capable right now. I think Randy played solid. I think that he has to stay tough. I think he don't rest on his laurels right here. He has to keep playing hard, go for the win. Don't just go to play.
Yeah, and usually when I do something, I remember the last time I sat here and I announced a match. I actually had my son out there doing some stats because I love to see the stats. And if I'm looking at the stats here, I think you'd see that it usually runs pretty parallel to the match where the winner to unforced error ratio, whoever's got a better ratio there, usually pulls off the set. It's like in the pros, they say +1 for a winner and -1 for an unforced error. So whoever got the higher number will usually win that set. I do it with ratios. And then, we actually do it on points won off the second serve, but I think first serve percentage in that first set was a big factor as well. And I think that Randy's going to pull it off as the set went out.
See, again, Ben is making some unforced errors there. I think big targets,
Yeah.
the age-old thing. I think he's going for too much, and I think he just has to be careful.
And I think he's feeling the heat now. I was going to say, literally, because it's already hot out
He
there,
is.
but he's like, okay, man, I
There's a
gotta
little bit
move
of
the second
pressure on
set.
him right now. Yeah.
And Wilson.
I mean, it's like right there, that would, in my opinion, you know, Randy's in great position. Why would you change direction of the ball and go down the line on that ball? That ball should just be hit back cross court as a neutral shot. And he looks like he's just antsy. And, you know, he knows what he's doing, obviously. He's in the finals. But when your nerves get a hold of you or you're just not in your groove, you start to make decisions that probably aren't the best all the time. So, but he looks pretty relaxed. I mean, just hanging out there. Doesn't look like he's too worried. Hopefully that can carry through to his game. Thank you to Abigail for that cup of coffee. I woke up early this morning and I couldn't go back to bed at 3:45, so I really appreciate that. Our video services team out there on the court in the control room does an amazing job. It's not just a camera on the court. They're setting this up a couple days ahead, doing all the testing, making sure everything's worked. Without them, we couldn't be talking to you right now, so kudos to the video services team here at the USTA National Campus. All right, and Shelton, love one. That's first serve in, that's gonna be a big plus, man. That's gonna be a big review of these two guys. Now, if I were Ben, I would just think right now, hey, let's just keep the cross court rally going. I'm not gonna get hurt if I do that. And then once I start feeling more confident, start moving the ball around a little bit more. I think he's choosing his spots a little bit early, and I think that's why those errors are being made. Nice first serve.
Let's go.
Again, probably not the right time to hit that shot because Randy's in great position to cover that. Now, if Randy gets to that ball, you're going to be scrambling on the next shot if he angles that ball off. You know, unless he just sees that he's just trying to pick on his backhand a little bit. I mean, that may be one time. I mean, there are times to go up the line, and weakness is one of them. Short ball is one of them. Out of position is one of them. And those are all good times to hit the line and get an inside ball, like right there. That's a good time.
Ben really needs to regroup. Love 40 down a game in a set. Has to really fight hard. Keep his head in the match. He's closer than he thinks. And you have an ace there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I was just watching some of the people starting to filter in a little bit. Now, this isn't the only match going on right now, so there's lots of stuff happening here, and so we're all over the place. I work in the center of campus, and it was a tough walk from the Welcome Center to the Tournament Administration building. And but the one thing I like were the donuts in there. That was a pretty cool little touch there. Right shot, and that's a good time to get it to the right spot. He's just got to execute. I'm not a Florida guy, but I'm sure these guys have been in this position many times. And so it's, you know, you have Randy, I know who has in the state championships. I'm sure Ben has been. Sometimes in the juniors, you see that age gap, and sometimes that can make a difference, you know. You know, you're playing a guy who's gonna be playing in college, and you're still in high school, and all that kind of plays some funky stuff in your brain.
Okay.
see he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna be a little more aggressive, come on in, put some pressure on him, but again, you gotta execute that shot. All right, and that's gonna be game for Randy Wilson. Even though it's 3-0, he's only up one break, but Ben does have to come out of this hole a little bit. He's in a hole.
Absolutely. I think this is where I wish on-court coaching could come in. I think Ben could come back if someone kind of got into his head a little bit right now. He is dejected, just punched his water cooler, but he's still in it. I think, you know, anything can happen here too. Don't give up on Ben Shelton. He's a tough competitor.
Now you mentioned on-court coaching, and I know last year, because my son plays, there were some pilot events going on with on-court coaching.
We did it at the level 5 in August. It was awesome. I don't know. We did get some mixed reviews, some real positive, some negative, but that's okay. It was fun to see, and I know traditionalists feel that it doesn't belong in the game, but I think there are parts of it that do. It's kind of odd how we have it backwards in the United States, where the kids play alone till they go to college tennis, and then they play in college where they get on-court coaching. So it's not good or bad. It's just kind of weird. The whole thing.
It is what it is, sort of thing, and you got to just figure out your way. So as a coach, you know, and I think a lot of coaches, including myself, you know, I used to travel to events all the time with my players. You know, you got to figure out, you got to make sure they know what to think when they're in this position right here. All right, so we've got Ben serving at love 3 in the second set.
Must hold. That's all I can say.
Second serve. Nice recovery there. Nice recovery there. All right, because he hit that short ball, and for sure.
You think Ben could have come in on that?
No, I think Randy came in on the short ball, and he actually wounded Ben, and Ben just dug himself out of that with that beautiful lob and really put Randy on the defensive. But that's one of the few unforced errors you've seen Randy hit all morning. I mean, he's been pretty clean. Slip up there. Oh, he got away with that one.
He got all of it. I could even see that from up here on the video. He fired it. He fired it. This will actually be the court for World Team Tennis. I believe it's the Orlando Storm.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and they're going to make it. They're going to color it up like a World Team Tennis court. So fans come out. I'm so excited for World Team Tennis to be here.
30 love for Ben. So I wonder if are they going to color the court?
They're going to color the court. Yep,
Amazing.
That's what I'm hearing.
So this will be like the 4th time in 3 years this court's been resurfaced. It'll be, you know, it's incredible. But that's why it's called the USTA National Campus. I mean, this is pristine. As a matter of fact, I was working with Dan Owens the other day.
Come on.
Yeah, definitely must hold.
Ideal, no wind though, which is good.
Yeah.
And we did have some challenging conditions this week.
I can see that flag over there to the left is just barely moving over there, which is great. Yeah, I think Randy knows that he's
more than that. I know he's not just, but he's hitting just some neutral shots. He's not overdoing it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. He's just playing smart. He's not going above what he has to do right now. He's picking, maybe a little bit more maturity on his part, but he's picking up on his, not just his game, but his mental focus, Ben's mental focus right now.
Yeah, smart move from Ben right there.
Oh, nice pass.
Again, Randy is just, he's in the zone. I mean, you haven't seen him there, and you see him
A lot of spots today. Second serve at deuce. All right. Whenever I talk about that, it's usually what happens too. I talk about how consistent somebody is, and then they just like make an unforced error, and it's typical. But that's just the way it works sometimes. All right, big first serve here for Ben. Got to get the first one in. There we go.
All right, back to deuce.
Back to deuce. Now he knows he made that shot once. He probably remembered that huge forehand he hit was on the replay last set, right? He's like, all right, I'm gonna do it again, and good for him. I mean, he's gonna need to make shots like that. He's gonna have to do it. He's gonna have to say, hey. For Ben, it's saying, hey, look I've got to, keep the ball in play, but Randy's great at that. It's going to be hard to beat, but those first two shots are going to be key for him. That first serve and the next shot, that first return and the next shot, because that's where
Serve
he's
plus
going
one.
to control the point. Especially off Randy's second serve. He's got to kind of take advantage of that a little bit.
All right.
Oh. He wasn't ready, though. He was still moving a little bit. He wasn't ready for that. Back to deuce. You can see the heat. Kind of hang out in the shade over there. Stay out of the sun a little bit. Trees. Not moving too bad. That's not a big effect on the match. Ben taking his time a little bit, making Randy wait. Anything to kind of throw that pace of the match off. Make that, and just talking about the pace of a match, you got Randy right now who's trying to keep things going. When you're winning, you want to keep the pace going, but when you're losing, you want to try to cut up that pace and break it up a little bit so they don't have that momentum. And you can see how he's walking a little bit fast right here.
Slow it down.
He's ready to go.
Yep.
And Ben just needs to say, okay, and you can tell he's being forced to wait. So Ben's playing it smart right now. He's taking his time, going to his towel. That's all good. Break point for Randy to go 4-0.
A little bit of rare sign of emotion from Randy.
Well, that's happened before too, though. When he was up those set points before, he missed an easy backhand return. It's he knows. It's like, hey, I have it here. He's obviously thinking about that a little bit. But he shouldn't be showing that emotion right now. See, that's not going to help him out. I mean, he's clearly in control of this match. Right now, he just showed one of his cards to Ben.
Yeah, like
Ben can pick up on that.
And that's why did he have to do that? Yeah.
Some people might say, oh, a little bit of steam off or whatever, but I mean, that gives Ben say, hey, there's a chink in his armor. If I can get him frustrated a little bit, I might be able to crawl back.
And hopefully, do you think? Okay, we'll let him watch him play, but
say it's a good thing he didn't make contact with that ball right there, because it
Yeah.
would have been little help, court 17.
And you don't want any coding or anything during this match. He doesn't need to lose a point.
Love this view right here. This is one of my favorite views to watch. You can really see height and points develop. It's kind of like sitting in the end zone in a football game. You can kind of see the plays develop.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
Way to close.
All
Yeah,
right,
really good movement on Ben's part there.
And he didn't try to put that first volley away so much. He just tried to stay and control the point. That's key when you're playing tennis. Is, you think to yourself, instead of saying, I'm going to win the point with this shot. You see a lot of junior players. I'm going to win the point with this shot. Instead of saying, how do I set myself up for the next ball with this shot? And in doing that, you're going to have less unforced errors, and you're going to get more what I call secondary winners. Winners without even trying. Because you just moved the guy around, you just opened up the court for yourself automatically, which he kind of did there. This is what, our fourth deuce? Fifth deuce? Oh, tough ball right there. Tough.
Yeah.
I mean, he
saw one of the best points of the match right there.
Yeah, and the key shot was that low volley that he kept deep and he kept it low, and he kept himself in control of the point. That was some great tennis right there from Ben. Let's take a look at that one again. All right, so he's changing his strategy up a little bit. He's coming on in. That low ball right there. Look at that. Kept
Nice
it
deep volley.
Yeah. So when you keep it deep like that, you open up that angle.
See the speed of Randy Wilson.
He's
The guy has some legs.
Very fast, but great replay too. It's good to see that. Just how he really took his time, and that was really another approach shot, is what it was. That low ball, because it was not a neutral shot. Good for him. See if he can capitalize on that right here now. And pulls it out. Pulls it out. All right, so we've got 3-1 in the second set.
So I'm interested to see how Randy's going to handle this game. He is in the lead. He is in the driver's seat here, but never easy to hold right here. It's going to test himself right now. Ben played a solid game here, so we're going to see what's going on. I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I think it's for Randy too. It's like, how much did that last game really get to him? Because he thought he had it, and he thought he had game point a few times, break point, but then he lost it, and you saw a little bit of emotion in his head. So that's is he gonna say, okay, that's over, just go back to what I was doing, or oh no, all right, he's coming back. Let's see what happens here. All right,
But again, Ben is the roses, Yeah, giving away too many roses here on the returns. And
what's that stand for again?
Return of serve error, the acronym.
I thought it was rest in peace, but that's returns in play.
Yeah, I like it. Did you just come up with that?
No, I heard that from one of my buddies, Jorge Capistani, who's a well-known pro here in the U.S. Oh, well, bummer on that, but that's the kind of game that Ben played, that got him here, right there. And that's what he's saying. Like, he can look at that point and say, okay, I played that point except for the volley there. That's the kind of tennis I'm used to playing. I just felt it. All right, let's see if I can create that again. If he can do that, he's going to be in great shape, because he played that point beautifully, except for he just wasn't focused on the volley so much. And again, I think that dippy ball that Randy hit low, he didn't handle like he did that last time. He set himself up so well. Time, making him wait. There we go. There we go.
Yeah,
Now, see, he's got that inside ball. That's when he wants to hit that. Beautiful. Beautiful. See, that reminds you of the last point again. You got 2 good points in a row. A little momentum.
Ben is definitely playing a little bit better.
Well, for 2 points there, I think if he can just find a way to say, okay, that's how I play. That's how I play. And repeat that. And at the same time, get Randy a little flustered.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I think they got the overrule there. Yeah.
Jason parted in the
Yep,
chair.
he's looking for the mark. You can't call it in a hard court. You can't call it on the mark, right? Is that the rule? Can't use the mark in a hard court.
Yeah. Ben frustrated. I think he just needs to move on with it.
Right. Well, it depends what mark they're talking about, but I see a couple marks there that are wide. All right. 2 game points here for Randy Wilson to go up 4-1 in the second set. He's up 1 set to love. And it looks like he just pulled off that game, and we have a changeover there, and looks like Ben's got some work to do. Once again, 4-1, only 1 break. But we have seen some positive moments, I think, out of Ben. So in the last game, the last 2 games really, that we haven't really seen the whole match. So hopefully he can remember those points and build off of that somehow.
So Randy going to the natural food with banana, no energy bar or anything like that.
Right.
Pedialyte. He has a little bit of a bar of liquids here. I don't know what is in there. Maybe
That's a
some
big
Gatorade,
bag,
but
though.
I do see the Pedialyte. He has 3 drinks, so it's like a little cocktail. He has a little.
Yeah, for me it'd be like, well,
4 bottles. And then he goes to the deep tissue rub. Look at that. So the guy is prepared here. Amazing.
if I were Ben, I'd be sitting there going, wow, oh yeah, I got to keep that 6-pack going a little bit.
This is great. Okay, the walk of a champion right there.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. Look at that right there.
He is ready.
He smells it. He needs 8 points to win it. Wow, that is some confidence.
All right, now let's see Ben. Let's get a picture of Ben. Let's see how he's walking back. This guy, you don't want to mess with this guy right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm up in the booth here.
Yeah.
But look at Ben, though. He's still pretty confident, too. He's walking with, he's standing straight. And good for him, you know, because it's been a rough match so far for him, but he knows that it's not over till it's over. He knows he's really not down by that much. I mean, 6-2, 4-1. You think, well, 10 games to 3 games. He's only down a break. If he can get that break back, we go 3. Oh, yeah. There we go. Again, good first serve. I think he's starting to hit that approach shot a little bit better. He's starting to, you know, he was hitting those up the middle a little bit in the first set. He's starting to place those a little bit better. See, those are the right shots he's hitting. That was a close call as well. All right. Don't get bummed about that, though. I mean, if you miss something that you're supposed to be doing, no big deal, because that's why you do it all the time. But if you're missing shots that you shouldn't be hitting, now that's a big deal. So you got to, just mindset-wise anyway. You got to make your shots, of course, but mindset-wise, it'll just keep the positive flow going a little. Nice.
Okay.
Yes, and again, just running around that backhand. You know, one thing that if you're not familiar too much with this, but the one thing that really does is it freezes your opponent a little bit because it's hard to read where they're going to go. Like if I gave you a backhand, I know to recover cross court from that backhand I gave you. But as soon as you run around that backhand, now you have that inside out ball and then inside in ball. It's really difficult to read, and Ben's taking advantage of that.
Did he get it?
I thought he missed it, but
Yeah, that's what I thought too. All right, he did miss it.
yeah, he missed it. Yeah. Ben Shelton serving it. 30-all, 1-4 in the second set from Gainesville, Florida, not too far from here, a little north of Orlando, versus Randy Wilson from Miami. About a little longer drive, a little more south, probably about 5 degrees warmer. There we go. There we go. See, now he just make it right there. That's a solid point. Didn't try to go for shots he shouldn't be hitting. Stayed in the point. That's how we got here. Okay, hold right here. Take the break. Back in the match. I'm sure Randy will have something to say about that, though.
He got it.
He got it. You know,
I think Ben let that go, right?
I think Ben let that drop a little low.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have caught. I mean,
And what about the volley though? I thought he thought it was going to go out.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see that point. I was thinking about that shot he hit before that, thinking he let it drop low, and he should have caught that to be a little more offensive.
These are must points right now for Ben.
Yeah.
He's really in a terrible hole.
Well, his first serve's been better, and as you see right there, yeah, it's looking good. You can count on that. I don't think the lefty is really affecting Randy a whole lot. He must, doesn't seem like that's a very big issue. But it's tough. I don't see how you play. You know, you got Ben with a hat on. So Andy, here we go. We still have some ball boys in this, huh?
Yep. One day we should have some ball boys.
Yeah. Have they ever done that before?
I was a ball boy, U.S. Open, 1979, 1980. How's that?
You said you live like 2 miles from the place, right? Or 3 miles?
Correct.
Wow.
So I've had 2 addresses in my life, one in Flushing, New York, and one in Orlando, Florida.
Wow. And I work closely with your wife, Rita Gladstone.
Yeah.
Who's an amazing coach here at the national campus. All right, back to deuce. And Rita's just done such an awesome job with the 10 and under program here.
She really has.
They told me she's one of the best in the country, and you know what? They were right. She is, and she is so focused out there. If it's 100 degrees, she's still fired up, and just my kids love her.
That's awesome to hear. All right.
All right, Ben. Let's go. Good move for him, though. Taking his time. Oh, they got 4 balls out there.
They might have opened 6.
Might have opened 6, yeah. Randy just not trying to make some errors.
Look at that swing volley. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, the fist bump. Did you catch that?
Yeah, caught that.
Yeah.
Randy, I mean, he's not trying to make errors, but he just seemed a little bit, what's the word, soft in that point. You know, he was almost playing not to lose instead of playing to win, and you could just tell there's a big difference there, right? And he's been
totally picked up on that. Yeah, it's not easy to play in the lead either.
No, not at all. But
especially when you got a title, about a state title on the line. How exciting! See, even
all right, big hold for Ben right there. Big hold for him.
Yeah, and well played. Not just a hold, but well played. So I would have to say this is the game of the match. This is going to determine the whole thing right here.
Well, like we said in the first set, the 7th game. This is the 7th game right here. This is the big game. It's either going to be 5-2 and 1 point away from the set, or back on serve again at 4-3. So if you do all the math and you figure that out, even though they say, it's not a big difference, to me, 7th game is a big game. And the 4th point is a big point. And that's not a good start for the game number 7.
He has made a lot of return of serve errors, as I mentioned before, but his serve is good. I mean, it's solid, and I hope you go down and look at it. But it's there's some heat on it.
And you got a platform stance for Randy here versus Ben, who's got a pinpoint stance. They say you have a little more reach with a pinpoint stance. So the tall guy with a little more reach, you would think would be a big advantage. Now, what I would tell Randy right now is just remember how you got to where you are, because he's not playing the same game right now as he was playing earlier. You know, and he doesn't. Again, he's like, okay, I just got to win 2 more games. And he might not be saying that. He might not be saying, but I mean, it's normal to think like that, though. Instead of just keep doing what you're doing. Oh, he might have listened to that, right?
Did he miss that?
No, he made that.
He made it.
He made it. He made it.
Boy, Randy is focused. Laser.
Yeah, he wants it pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they both want it. I mean, it's not like no, I don't want this one. But these are all the intangibles that make the difference in a match, right?
I agree. All right, rare double fault.
It's like when you played a Connors, you could be up, we used to joke, like 6-0, 5-0, and 40 love, and he's not going to give you an inch. You still got to fight for that last point. You know, and Crickstein will tell you that, right? You watch it every time it rains.
You're bringing it out of the woodwork. That information.
But I just remember that, you know, and he was one of the guys. He would just grind it out until that last shot was hit.
It's funny how Randy just went to the slice here.
Well, I think he's just playing like he knows he's been keeping the ball in play a little bit, so he's trying to do that. But little does he know that Ben's starting to pick up his game. Yep, and look at that.
I think this is the
first
break point of the match for Ben.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, make him play there, Ben.
Oh, break. He's back.
Right. Okay, we got a match.
He's back. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just woke up.
Cancel the meetings there, Mick. We're going to be here a while.
Oh man,
all right.
I have some work to do. I have a couple interviews.
Solid from Mr. Shelton from Gainesville.
Yeah. But if you look back. All right, we're going to toss it back to a break here in just a second, but we are at on serve in the second set, and you're watching the 2019 Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships.
Love to Learn takes brand new players that have never played. We connect them with teaching pros so they learn the basics of the game.
I've never played any sport in my life, and I've had a blast. We can laugh at each other, and it's okay.
And it's totally okay.
But what's different, I guess, is just having, it's a pretty small group, so it feels like it's one-on-one.
What makes it really unique and special is the use of the mentors. We have experienced players that volunteer their time and enthusiastically help the new players get connected in the tennis community.
I think everyone here makes you feel welcome. The ladies who are amazing at tennis, who come and watch us and encourage us, it's very uplifting, and they really do a great job at motivating you.
All right, we are back at the 2019 Bobby Curtis Junior State Championships. Boy, I thought the match might have been in the record books, but young Ben Shelton, 16 years old, comes back strong. You can see he's in a new frame of mind right now. First break of the match for Ben, real exciting. I'm really glad for him, and obviously Randy's still in the lead, but just awesome to see. Let's see what Ben does.
Well, he's obviously got some juice flowing right now, thinking, okay.
Oh, yeah. An unfortunate
tough
miss for
miss,
Ben.
but
Yeah.
that's the game that got him to where he is. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I mean, and like we said before break, I think what you saw Randy doing a little bit of is he was holding back. He could have held back and played it safe and changed his game plan a little bit. It looked like to me anyway.
Ben definitely has stepped up his level. Glad to see that.
So when you see that victory in the horizon, it's so easy to just neutralize things. But remember, everybody, how you got there is key, and just keep doing that. And here you really see the height these guys are hitting over the net. You know, when you see the upper view, you don't really see how high, you know, like when they show in the pros, these guys think, when you ask a person who's starting out how high you think the pros hit over the net, they'll always say like an inch or two. And, you know, it's way off. Height equals depth. All right, Ben, here we go. All right.
Yeah,
I think Ben,
not the way you want to come back after such a great break here.
Right, and it's hard to consolidate that break. Now I think Ben, I don't know if he called that out. He might have called that out, and the umpire overruled him, or he just didn't call it and was looking at the umpire there, wondering what happened. Because I thought that ball was going to go long myself. All right, see how Randy just steps up for this? Oh, I guess not. He's stepping back. We'll see if he attacks the second serve. Not really. All right, and there's rough game right there for Ben. And
yeah.
Again, now that's he went back to his old game again. He just didn't have the confidence like he had that last game or two where he was just making his shots, and he knows he can stay on the point. And he just felt a little bit anxious and had to go for that ball.
All right. 4 points away from the championships. I still, and again, these 4 points are the hardest 4 points he's going to have the whole tournament.
Right, and really, if you try to picture who's more nervous right now, you know who I'd say is? I'd say Randy is. Because Ben's like, you know what, I have nothing to lose. I got to just, you know. Randy's thinking about the game. He's thinking about the match. But he brought that first serve in. Good for him.
He has incredible speed.
Great point.
He almost still
those
volleys were solid from Ben, and he can move. Wow.
All right, let's take a look at the replay. Let's take a look at that again. That was just phenomenal movement.
Yeah.
Shot making,
we're watching
everything.
it from up here. I mean, I could just tell how fast. Look at his change of direction. It's just incredible.
Yeah, he's fast. He's down for the count. You know, and if you would have ran for that, he probably would have only been a step away from that ball after taking a little snooze.
He slid on that one.
But just watch his feet at contact of his opponent. He's always taking his split steps at the right time. He's moving well. He's recovering well. He's bouncing out there. Where if you look at Ben's a little heavier, you know, in the feet.
So Ben took his hat off, huh? What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think was it just a superstitious thing, or just?
Oh, I thought you were thinking what I thought about his hair. I think his hair looks great. Still looks really good.
Yeah.
You can see his hat line a little bit. You think he's worried about hat head right now? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I thought that was it 40-15 or? Yeah, I thought that was a not to lose point. Yeah.
Yeah, because he kind of turned the intensity down quite a bit right there.
Ben has had he's giving him some opportunities here.
All right, see if he can. Lost control of the point, but he got it back. I mean, that was just some
rock solid from Randy. Rock solid there. Not an easy point. Good hands at the end.
And, one thing you got to hand to Ben, I've seen a lot in this match is, you don't see Randy in too many defensive positions just because he's so quick. You've seen Ben in a lot more, but Ben is really good. And I haven't seen Ben play before, but I know he's really good at taking a defensive ball and turning that into a neutral or offensive ball. I mean, you can just tell by the way from a lot of the shots he's hit today. All right, he's got to see if he can do something with this second serve here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
Randy's disappointed. I mean, obviously he's showing his emotions, but I'm not sure why Randy went to the slice there. Yeah, I mean, good strategy, but it seems more just he's playing not to lose.
Right. So 3 breaks in a row, though. That's what it's been. 3 breaks in a row. It's been so you can tell that Randy's probably thinking about, and that's why he's playing not to lose. He's thinking about the trophy a little bit, which is it's almost impossible not to. I mean, I do, and I'm 50 years old, and I still think about, getting the win or whatever. So it's hard not to, but it's how you handle that and overcome that feeling and to stay in the zone or to stay in the game the way you've been for the last, set and a half. And I think what you've seen here is Ben not doing that or Randy not doing that so much. He's a little more of a rub down again. It seemed to work pretty well at the end of the first set, right?
And staying with your routines, your systems are important right here.
It's got to feel good on your stomach. I've never done that on my stomach before.
That's the first time I've seen someone do that on their.
Probably if you got some good abs, it feels good. If you don't have some good abs, it might not. But I see you're cycling and running all the time. I cycle a little bit, but I mean, you are in incredible shape yourself. So you might want to give it a try sometime.
Yeah.
All right, so serving to stay in it.
A little bit more focus from Ben, right? You could just see his mental approach is better. Needs to take a deep breath. All right.
Get his routines down.
All right.
Making a first serve.
Lays in the big one right there.
And it wasn't really that wide. I just think that Randy was waiting for a backhand right there. I mean, he definitely was waiting for a backhand. He's like, oh, guess I could have got that.
Way off there.
Great point. All right.
You got it, right?
Yeah, but he just, the objective of that approach shot should be to put your opponent in a defensive position, and he really didn't do anything with that ball, so he paid the price for that. He just gave it right to him. I mean, he gave him a forehand, didn't make a move, right in his sweet spot, right in his hitting zone. So he knew he's got to do more with that. He's doing more with that with balls on the baseline.
Agree. All right. 15 all.
See, that's what Randy was waiting for the last time.
He was way. Did you see how far Ben was? Yeah. Way off in the double. He was in the double, almost past the doubles alley when he hit that forehand.
All right, so now we're to the 4th point, which I say is most important.
Yeah.
Another pros will say it doesn't make a difference, and everybody's got their theory. But okay, if he wins this point, it's basically deuce. He's back. If he loses this point, it's double match point. So big difference. And we've got a little bit of a freeze up there. So we're frozen up here a little bit, but in case our viewers can still hear us, even though they're watching the match, what does it mean to win this tournament? I mean, what does it mean? Let's say Randy pulls this off. I mean, there's been a lot of players that have played in this that you know who are pros. What pros do you know that have played this event? So you can say, well, if I win this, these pros have won it. Maybe I could be a pro someday. I mean, do you know any pros that have played this?
It's literally a who's who of former Florida players. I was just doing some thinking this morning. Sloane Stevens, Monica Puig, recently Amanda Nasimova, Whitney Oswego, Riley Opelka. The list goes on and on. Chris Evert, Brian Godfrey, Jay Berger.
So they all grew up. They had to all grown up in Florida then, because
correct.
Because you can't play in this unless you're from Florida. I mean, when you think about it, I came from the Midwest, which is Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, and a little wet part of Virginia or West Virginia, and this is just Florida. So there's some depth here. I mean, for Florida to have its own section, and it's big. But I've noticed that when I came down from the Midwest, where I came from, that my son's a player, and where we came from, there were a few kids that it just wasn't as deep. I'll put it that way. He can get a good match from almost anybody he runs across here in Florida. I mean, there's just some solid tennis.
We grow many things here. We have an incredible.
All right, we got match point here coming up, and go tell him that we're frozen. All right, now we're back. We were frozen for a little bit, and so we did have a match point coming up. And as all broadcasters do, we try to take that time that we don't know what to do with and make a conversation out of it as match point is going on. But lucky for us, we get a chance. We've been watching the whole match here, Andy. I want to see match point myself. And good for Ben coming back.
And now Ben is good. He's hanging in there.
Well, saved a match point anyway, which is fantastic. He'll do anything. I'll change my hat. I'll change my shoes. The change of the hat's been a big momentum shift in this match. Think about it. You see, as a coach, you probably wouldn't give someone the change of the hat. All right, you got to change your hat. But now we're back to deuce again. But good for him.
Boy, I am so glad that we didn't miss. I mean, it was so exciting, you know, and here we're.
Now, I'm not sure what the viewers saw because I heard in my ear that it was match point. So they obviously knew what was going on in there. So I think it might have just been on our end. So thank you, Video Services, for catching us up and once again saving the day here at the USTA National Cake Campus, 64-acre facility. Unbelievable in Orlando, Florida.
Okay. All right, Ben. Show us what you got there, Mr. Shelton.
Now, was that a backhand? Because with Randy, it's been those big points to his backhand. Those are the ones that he's been having a little bit of an issue with. Right shot. I mean, that was the right shot. I mean, that's kind of where the way he started hitting. It wasn't the wrong shot, just obviously the wrong spot, which doesn't help you any. But he really wasn't trying to hit a big winner. He's trying to make it effective enough. But you don't have a lot of padding to be missing very many more shots here at 4-5 and deuce in the second set. So this is the final of the boys 18s 2019 Bobby Curtis Jr. State Championships. And it's kind of been an up and down match a little bit. I think we've seen Ben started off a little bit slow, but he's picked himself back up again. We've seen 3 breaks of serve in a row here in the second set after all those holds and only a break or 2.
All right, another match point here.
Yeah, and I think he's trying to pick on his backhand a little bit because he decided to change direction a little bit on that ball. And I'm just afraid to serve to this guy. He's like, okay, I want this.
Look at this.
All right, we've got match point for Randy Wilson.
That's it.
Yes, game, set, and match to Randy Wilson of Miami, Florida. All right, 6-2, 6-4, and we're sending Mr. Gladstone down to the court right now to talk. He'll be talking to Randy, and you can see how he's almost just he's like so absorbed in the moment there, but he is just glad this is over. He knew how much work it was to get here through all of the rain, all of the delays, all the, instead of playing at 4, you're playing at 8. I mean, it's been kind of a rough week in terms of the weather, but what I'm super impressed with by the tournament, once again here with USTA Florida, is when you're walking around this place and you see all these hundreds of people and kids, you don't see anybody from the tournament staff scrambling around to make sure, we got to do this, we got to do this. Everything just seems to be, anyway, running the way it should. So congratulations not only to the players, but to the staff here that came here to make sure this match happened on time, on Wednesday. Phenomenal job. And once again, congratulations to Randy Wilson. All right, and there's the replay of match point right there. Shaking hands with two great players. And once again, Randy Wilson from Miami taking the boys 18 singles final 6-2, 6-4. Want to thank our official for being there, making sure everything ran smoothly. And we have Andy Gladstone coming down to court to interview some of our players. Now, one thing I've seen here, and again, like I said, I'm new here in Florida, but one thing I've seen a lot of college coaches here. This is the event to come to, and if you're just starting tennis, and you're a junior player, if you're not watching it on the line right now, this is just a great facility. You could come and watch this match if you want, but from this camera view right here, if you turned around and looked behind you, which you don't have to do that, but if you did, you would see 16 courts, 16 36-foot courts with players ranging in age from 2.5 to 6 or 7, and then 16 60-foot courts. So with our red, orange, green, and then we have, this is obviously our 78-foot court. You can see Andy Gladstone down on court right now, waiting to talk to our champion, Randy Wilson. But even if you didn't watch this match, you would see how much action is going around. If you look to the right on the other side of that pond, we have 12 amazing collegiate courts over there where the NCAA championships was played, home to the University of Central Florida's tennis teams. But I think we're going to take it down to Andy Gladstone.
Warm, sincere, impressive congratulations to you, Randy. You're part of a legacy to be here. To be a champion at the Bobby Curtis Junior State Closed, part of great champions from Andy Roddick, Chris Everett, and on the Pro Tour right now. There's unbelievable players, Amanda Nasimova. So really nice to have you, and sensational match. Really enjoyed watching you play today. So if you could maybe share, key turning points of the match, or was it easy first set, and I thought you were going to coast there, and then Ben played tough at the end, real tough.
Well, yeah, first set was very tough. I went with my game plan since the first point. It was, I had to change conditions, play-wise, because of the wind. It was tough. And then, in the second set, I thought I was going to cruise through until he broke my serve. I think it was at 4-3 or something like that. I can't remember right now. But yeah, after he broke my serve, that's where I started getting mental, because he has a big serve, and that was key. The key was today was to break his serve and then get in my lead for my serve, and then that would give me the upper edge, and that's what I did in the first set. And the second set, it was went well, the first 3-4 games, And then, you know, 4-1, 4-2, and then he broke my serve, and then that's where it started getting mental. And then in the end, at 5-4, he had so many break points to go 5-all. That was definitely mental for me, for sure. I try to keep my cool, you know, because that's something I've been working for the past, I don't know how many years. So yeah, definitely mental for sure. Like I said, you know, that's something that I've been working on for a long time, and then that's something that causes you to win or lose.
Yeah, no,
sure,
without
you know?
a doubt. Now, you played a little over a month ago, Florida High School
Yes.
State Finals, and you came out in second place.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, losing. And what would you say the difference in this match was? You know, and did you play differently? Did you play better? Was was there difference in styles?
No, I gotta give him credit, to be honest. He actually played well. I mean, there's nothing much I can do, to be honest. He went out there and just played his game, and then I tried to play my game, and it didn't work out, and he won. You know, he played well, so I give him credit for that victory last month.
And maybe give some, okay, this is a great tournament.
Yes.
And you're 18 off
yeah.
to the University of Louisville, the
Yes.
Cardinals.
Yes.
I wish you luck. How long have you been playing the tournament?
Ooh, since the 14s I've been playing it. You know,
Okay.
14s I made a semifinal doubt, and I lost. 16s I can't remember, and then last year was quarterfinals, the year before semis, and I've been working really hard just all these years to win at least one. You know. And I got it today, and it feels really good, to be honest.
Yeah,
so.
and a nice thing to go into the summer months.
Yes.
And I was good. So, what are your plans? Do you plan on playing the Clays and going to Kalamazoo?
Yes. Now take a few days off, and then prepare for clay court nationals, and then hopefully Kalamazoo, and then I'll probably go to Louisville. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll call it a day.
Good.
So, yeah.
Okay, and I spoke with Chris Fung, your coach, an sensational guy, and he has such admiration for you, which I like. Called you a member of his family.
Yeah.
Maybe tell the audience a little bit about him and what he's done for you.
Yeah, no, he's been on my side, you know, a long time since I got to where I train at Royal Palm. He's like my stepfather, to be honest. You know, when my dad leaves out of town, because my dad spends half the year in Dominican Republic over there, so. Anything I need, he's there for me. Anything whatever, general stuff, you know, he's always there to help me, you know, and that's something, you know, that's been, you know, big for me. I need support, you know, and that's what matters, support. You know, once you got support, you know, you feel good. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's been real to me. It's like I said, like my stepfather. So
yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah. Go, Chris. Yeah, little kudos to you. Yeah. Okay, and anyone else you'd like to thank for?
Yeah,
you know, it's really, you know, a whole community to raise a player. You know, a village. What do they say? A village to raise a family. And yeah.
Where I came from, Royal Palm Tennis Club. That's I've been there. You know, Eric Heckman, the director, he gave me a scholarship to play there. And after I won 12 and 12 Bobby Curry doubles with Matthew Fung.
Yeah.
So he gave me a scholarship there, and then he's been, you know, helping me as well throughout the years. And then the members have been helping me as well. And yeah, just, you know, I can't thank them enough because they've done so much for me, you know.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, Heckman. You know, Heckman's been there as well for me, you know. Aside from Chris, he's been there for me, you know, when I need it as well.
All right, and there you have it right there. We've got our 2019 Bobby Curtis Jr. Boys 18 and Under Single State Champion Randy Wilson with a straight set win over Ben Shelton by the score of 6-2, 6-4. I think I just want to say great match to both players. I think you can see where a match like this can really make a difference in mentally in how the match is played. And so anyway, we are going to be having the girls. That's going to be following this match, the 18 and under singles championship. We have Sophia Fornoris from Pinecrest, the 3rd seed, playing against Stephanie Sanchez of Hollywood, the 1st seed. And we just want to say stay tuned for that match. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, that'll be following this match. But we just want to thank you for spending time with us during the 2019 Bobby Curtis Jr. State Championships.